I'm live. Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, My Sexual Life. This is a place to be for education about asexuality. I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, founder of asexualise.com and founder of Asexualise Academy, which is the world's first online training centre and school for asexuals and asexuality. If you haven't already got your free Asexuality Basics for Beginners course, please click on the link down below. And if you like this video as we go along, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps this videos get up in the search engine rankings and gets asexuality better known. So you might have noticed I've got a croaky voice today. My throat's really sore. Yesterday when I went over to my parents, you might have seen yesterday's video. Chestnut, hi Michael. Chestnut and Angel both have to go in for operations next week. On Wednesday. So yeah, they're both my furry kid guinea pigs. You saw one of them on camera yesterday, and you might have known that I was going to the doctor today. I've had what I thought was a chest infection for 3 weeks, and as you can hear, my throat's quite sore today. I was coughing loads at my parents because what happens is when I've not got any windows open at all, then my cough gets worse, and then it makes my throat worse. And also, sorry, it's really bad. I hope I don't lose my voice. I'll try and make it really brief today. So, yeah. Anyway, when I don't get any oxygen, it makes me cough more. So my ribs were hurting today. So I went to the doctor's and she said I have a viral infection in my throat. But what I did was when I went in there, I explained to her basically that I was kissing a guy on a date. And I said, you can laugh if you want to, it's fine. Because I said it's really obviously, it's quite funny, but it isn't, but it is, but it's not, if you know what I mean. Because I said I was kissing a guy who was smoking. I said I'm asexual, so I don't have sex. I don't like sex, but I do still like passionate kissing with a tongue. So I told her that I was passionately kissing this guy over a period of about 6 hours off and on because we were dancing and chatting in between. And I said that he went out to smoke. He didn't smoke around me. But then afterwards, after I came back from the date, you know, I had the nicotine taste in my mouth from kissing him. I was literally nearly being sick in the sink. My chest was really bad. So I said she could laugh if she wanted to, because I could tell she wanted to. Because obviously to an outsider, the whole situation's quite funny. But when she actually got this, it's not. But in the end, she said to me that she tested my chest and everything. She said, it's not in your chest, or it's not anyway at the moment. Maybe, you know, it probably was before, but I think it was before. But she said basically it's in the upper part of your body. And she said that you've got a viral infection in your throat, that your throat is actually red and a bit inflamed at the back. And she said that I had lower blood pressure as well. So, because my family suffers high blood pressure, right? Or my parents, my family. But if I ever get ill, I get low blood pressure, which I was once in hospital with it really badly because I couldn't even stand up. I was that dizzy and couldn't stand up. It was horrible. So I hope I don't, you know, hopefully that won't come back. But she said, I'm not worried about you. She said, because you are sat here talking to me now. You're not feeling dizzy. You're not passing out on the floor. So, you know, she doesn't see it's anything to worry about. And I was quite happy about that. So she's fine. She doesn't think there's anything like drastically wrong with my blood pressure. But, you know, that's what she said. And this evening I watched a movie and then fell asleep for a few hours. So obviously I need the rest because the asexual meetup is next weekend. So I've got to be as fit and healthy as possible for then. I'm meant to be going out clubbing with one of my friends on the Friday. Then some of us are meeting up on the Saturday. A couple of us, me and my friend and my other friend, excuse me, are meeting up Saturday day. Sorry. And then later on in the day, in the evening, there's a bunch of us meeting up before the actual meetup day on the Sunday. And on the Sunday, midday, we're going for a Chinese meal. And then we're going to be going to the light switch on in my city later on. There's live bands, there's the Christmas market. So it's going to be so good. I'm going to thoroughly love it. And so I hope to be much better. So I've got to get myself better in this week. But the doctor said it can take up to 3 weeks for this cough to go. So it can have it for 6 weeks. I'm like, cheers for that. But she said it's in the upper part of my body. But I did gather before I went that it's probably respiratory as well, because I kind of feel that it's more up here. And it's worse when I eat, but it's worse when I have heat. So when I was at my parents yesterday, the heating was on, which I need for, because I get cold, but I had to stick my head out. I had to keep sticking my head out of their patio back door, you know? So, well, I say it's patio, it's like a patio doors, but it goes out into like, you know, there's no undercover bit outside. So just I keep opening the doors. But where I'm at my own home, I have the window open, even though the curtains are closed, and the heating on at the same time, because the radiator's on. But although they switch it off later on, and then I've got the window open at the same time because I need oxygen. She tested my oxygen levels and said they were fine. But she said, she said, oh, I can't say that it's the guy that you kissed that actually triggered it. I can't say that at all. And I said, well, I know 100% it is, because I know it's fine. But I said, having said that though, I said I did have a chest infection the month before in September. So one of my asexual friends, who watches his channel actually, Andy, he suggested that maybe it was lingering from the month before. And so I said to her, well, I did have the chest infection the month before, and I hadn't been like not had it for that long until I got it again. So it may have come back, but the smoking, you know, the nicotine was definitely the trigger for it, because she said about the trigger. So yeah, I won't be kissing a smoker again. You know, I've learnt my lesson on that one. I've never kissed a smoker in my life, but I've got quite sensitivities to stuff like that anyway, because I've never tried a cigarette in my life. And I've never taken drugs in my life. I don't believe in that personally. Can't stand it. I can't even stand smoking, so I'm surprised I even kissed him. But anyway, that's what 4 years of kissing frustration, when you've got no one to kiss and you're like a kissing addict, does for you. It's like, oh, I actually find a guy attractive in the UK. He's not British, that's why. And he's foreign, he's got short dark hair, clean shaven. And I actually want to kiss him, which is quite rare these days for me, especially as he wasn't asexual. So, yeah. So I kind of jumped at the opportunity. And when I was actually kissing him, I didn't have a problem. I didn't feel one cough at all. I was just having a great time. It wasn't until I literally got home. It's like literally I went up the stairs and went in my flat, and that was it. Straight to the sink, coughing. Oh, man. So just goes to show you that you can get like the adrenaline buzz feeling really out of kissing. Well, I can. I guess not everyone's body's wired like that. So I'm not wired for sex. I mean, I'm not interested in it. I don't get the need, urge, or want for it ever. It doesn't matter how passionately I'm kissing a guy. It doesn't ever take effect in my body or my mind. It takes effect with my body in terms of arousal, but it doesn't actually give me urge, need, or want specifically for sex. It doesn't do that. And so it doesn't matter how passionate I kiss a guy, my brain's just like, no further. It doesn't want to do anything more. Whereas when someone experiences sexual attraction, the difference with them is they literally want to pounce on you. They literally want to... I was going to say stick it in you, but I don't even like those words. But yeah, if it's a guy and a girl, you know, because I'm only interested in guys. But that's what they get the urge to do, because they're sexual, but I'm not sexual, you know? And so... that's the main difference, really. And, you know, it's quite... I think it's, you know... In the terms of dating sexuals, it's kind of like almost impossible, because a lot of them cannot kiss me and not want to do that in 5 minutes. So therefore it stops them kissing me. Do you see what I mean? Because they're like, oh, I can't, you know, they just can't keep going and going kissing me when it's giving those feelings. Whereas obviously this guy that I went out dancing with and spent the evening with, you know, he was, even though he was heterosexual, as far as I know, he was really good like that. But yeah, trying to explain it to doctor, but I mean, I don't have any problem with explaining things to doctors like that, where some people would. I just tell it like it is, like I'm asexual, don't want sex, don't have that, don't like it. But I still like passionate kissing, this is what happened. But she was actually, had another doctor in with her, marking her, so she couldn't laugh, but I knew she wanted to. But then I told her about my foot as well, because my foot still got some swelling from when that guy fell underneath it, but he must have fallen on top of it as well, because my foot was really hurting. It's still got some swelling to the left-hand side. So she was like, oh, elevate it and basically do all the things I did in the first place. So I had some elevation on that today, and then I fell asleep after I watched the Fantastic Beasts movie, because it's number 2's coming out soon on the cinema, and it's by J.K. Rowling. That's a good asexual film to watch, because there's no... I mean, you know, some asexuals don't mind watching sex in movies, but I can't stand it. I hate it, right? So Fantastic Beasts is great because there's no sex. There's no, you know, the violence in it is more suggestive. You know, it's not that bad of violence, and there's no swearing in it really, you know. It's a really good film. And then, yeah, like I said, Fantastic Beasts 2 is coming out in the cinema soon. So I'll probably go and watch that on a special view cinema day. But I just wanted to, like to share with you what happened, because I know you've been following me on this channel like every day since July the 1st. And obviously I've been sick now for like 3 weeks with this chest infection. Well, which she says a throat infection, a virus. But there's nothing she could do about it because of virus, which I pretty much knew. So I just got to wait for it to go. So I won't be kissing anyone for a while. Oh, I've got another attendee coming to my asexual meetup, which is great. He's a young foreign guy, actually, in the UK, asexual. Very cute. But I think he just looks up to me as someone who helps people with asexuality and is a Facebook friend. So I don't think anything is going to happen there other than I get on with him, because I get on with everyone usually who comes to my meetups. Well, these days, yeah. I mean, obviously there can be sometimes in, any asexual meetup, you could get some people that are suited more to one's personality than the others. But in all the people I've had over the last, year, I've got on well with every single person that's come to the meetups, and some of them have become my best friends. Yeah. So I'm really happy about that. It's fantastic. And all the people that are coming to my meetups, I'm friends with them all on Facebook, apart from one of them, which I'm friends on asexuality.org, and she's been to one of my meetups before. So yeah, there'll be just me and another woman, and the rest of us are blokes. I get on well with guys, so I really do. I guess because I've got a few male traits as well, as I would say, I mean, everyone really, whether they're male or female, does have some male and female traits within them, but it's just whether you choose to act upon those male or female traits as to which ones you show more of, really. But, I think I get on really well with guys, because I'm kind of soft, gentle, kind and caring, but I don't accept rubbish, and I'm very direct with them. But also, I can do guy stuff like the virtual reality gaming last month. Well, like one of them, my friends who came, he said, that probably is like more of a guy thing to do usually. But I loved it, It's really, really good. I really enjoyed that. Even though I'm not gamer, I got the highest score of the group, so I was really proud to do that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the asexual meetup next weekend. I'm glad I've just been to the doctors to been checked over anyway, because I think it's after it's gone on for like 3 weeks, it's super important. But you can hear my voice. It's like I'm trying not to lose it. So hopefully I'll be better by next weekend, or hopefully next weekend will make me better, because I do think one of the best forms of medicine is to have friends around you, to get out and laugh, have fun, have a good time and enjoy yourself. And I think that, if you can get out sometimes of your routine, and you can get out of, the norm of what you're doing, sometimes that can be the most beneficial medicine for you, because you're relaxing more, you're happier more, you're enjoying your life more, I think. I mean, you can enjoy yourself, but it's like when I'm at home here, in my flat, I'm on my own a lot, and I'm doing website work. I mean, my asexualist.com site at the moment is pretty much unusable. So if you try and get on there, I'm really sorry. I've got some people I bought a theme for it, a whole shop theme, plugins to try and make it really work well. But I've got a tech guy, who sold me the theme, looking into it at the moment. But even they're having problems accessing the site. So I've tried to do whatever I can, but I've got problems. I've got my web host on the case as well. So it might be that I have to take the shop back off there, which is a bit sad because I spent money putting the whole shop stuff on there. But, I have to do what's best for the site. But at the moment, it might be usable to you, but it keeps being intermittently changing. It keeps swapping themes by itself. Like I swap it back to the main shop theme, it keeps swapping back to the default theme and weird stuff like that. So, yeah, I do apologise if you go on my asexualized.com site and it's not quite right. This is the 9th of November, by the way, 2018. So obviously when you watch this video, it might hopefully be all fixed by then. But that's what it is as of today. So yeah, I thought I'd give you an update on the doctors. So yeah, I don't tend to go on that site. What, my asexualized.com site? That's my site with blog on. My blog posts are very popular. I share them throughout my social media. Blog posts on that site's very popular. That's my own website. And then the shop is actually Amazon. It's like the best products on Amazon.com. So it's like, because I had to decide whether to put products from Amazon UK or products from Amazon.com on there, because I could only, with the theme I've bought, I can only choose one lot of products from one site or the other with the way it's created with the products. But I had to choose one or the other. And as more asexuals who follow my blog and my website were from America, I decided to go with the .com, but it's just got, I spent 3 weeks trying to sort it out before. I spent about 5 hours in total to my web host. There's nothing more I can do apart from, like try and get them to technically sort it out. But if it's not working, I'll just have to like get rid of the shop and just resort back to my blog and the resources. There's resources on there as well. And people used to look at them. But I used to have a shop on there before last year. And people were looking for it again, looking for the products and stuff. So that's why I decided to go more all in with it. I bought a shop theme, all these plugins, all this special bundle, which would allow me to import products like best asexual products from Amazon. I'd like search for them and it'd import them for me. But I used to have to do some manual work on it. But I tried to get it to work and I've done all I can on it. So I'm not a coder, but even my web host doesn't understand what the errors are. I just keep getting errors all the time. So if your own web host doesn't understand it, a woman I talked to who's had 10 years experience, there's not much else as someone who can't, I build my own websites, but I can't code. So someone like me, who's not going to be able to really top someone who's got 10 years experience, if you know what I mean. So, and even they having problems with that. So I just, my Asexualized Academy is still fully working. You still go on that one and you can still access a free course for anyone who hasn't taken my Asexuality Basics for Beginners and wants to know more about the asexuality and the asexual spectrum. That's still up and running. So Asexualized Academy hasn't got a problem with it. It's only asexualized.com one. Which asexualized.com, I think it's been going for 3 years now, something like that. So yeah. Anyway, I do apologise for that. But yeah, hopefully it'll sort itself out one way or the other even. But the blog's really popular on there. It's got really good articles that I wrote. And I also share some articles from other people, some YouTube videos on there as well. So I do a range of stuff on that blog. And I've been blogging for quite a while. Oh, and I've been blogging on my quirkybooks.wordpress.com blog, which is my writing blog, for 8 years now. It was my 8th year anniversary on the 8th of November. And the reason why that's important is because I also talk about asexuality sometimes on that blog as well, because that's my writing blog. So if I'm in an asexual article, like I was in the FemMedic article a while ago in September, I think I was. If you go back through the videos, if you haven't seen the video, you can see it. And then I posted that on my quirkybooks.wordpress.com blog, because obviously I'm author of Asexual Perspectives, so as it's my writing blog, I can write all about asexuality. And some people have found me through that blog to do with asexuality, even though asexuality is not the subject specifically of that blog. It's a blog where I help people with their writing and I inspire them. I talk about my quirky life as well. So yeah, people think I just do the asexual stuff, which I do. I live and breathe asexuality day in, day out. But I also do 2 other blogs. That's quirkybooks.wordpress.com blog. Is to help other writers to write and also talk about my quirky life and inspire them. And then beatredundancyblues.com for anyone who's redundant. It helps. It's lots of inspirational posts on there, personal development stuff. So yeah, I blog on 3 blogs usually every single week, but my asexualized.com one I haven't blogged on quite as regularly lately because I've had the technical problems, and even to get to do a blog post is kind of hard on there, but I hope to have that resolved soon. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an update. Yeah, and if you're ever worried about going to the doctors and it's something to do with asexuality like that, just say it out loud. Just say I'm asexual, don't like this and whatever. Obviously, if you're going to see a counsellor, then it's harder because you're going there specifically. If you're going there specifically to talk about asexuality, that can be difficult. Because I had a counsellor who, wasn't very good about it. But with a doctor, I just tell them I'm asexual. I don't ask them, say I think I am. I'm just saying, well, I'm asexual, I don't have sex. It's like, obviously with women, you can get something called a smear test. I know guys might not even know about this, but it's to check your body down below. Safety precaution for cancer and things like that. But it's usually more You know, it's good if you can have that done at any time in your life. You know, that over, I think have you got to be over a certain age? I don't know, but no, because you can have it when you're young. But basically what I'm trying to say is, if you have sex, you need to have it done, really, because that's how, you know, they test you down below. So that's another benefit of not having sex, that you don't have to worry so much about having so many intrusive smear tests and things like that, because if you're having sex, you kind of really need to have that, because you've been using that part of your body, if you know what I mean, with another person, which is another benefit of, although you should still have them, because obviously you can still get, you know, like diseases, illnesses, cancer and stuff. So it's still good to get checked out. And obviously if you're a guy, prostate cancer and things like that, it's still good to get checked. But if you're obviously active sexually down below with another person, it increases the risk of getting ill down, you know, your private part. So I think that's another benefit of not having sex. You know, I really love that. You know, there are quite a lot of benefits to not having sex, you know. Less, you know, like obviously you can still get sexually transmitted diseases even without sex if you're doing other stuff, but the fact you don't have sex really reduces your risk of sexually transmitted infections, sexually transmitted diseases. I personally love a life without sex. I think it's really healthy. You know, sex is only health. Hello, Heather. HPV, yeah. Sex is only healthy for people who actually want it and enjoy it. I just hate it when people in society say sex is healthy. Well, yes, it's healthy for someone who enjoys it, likes it and wants it, because it makes them feel good. But for someone who's asexual, who doesn't actually want, like, or desire the sex, it's not healthy, because it's pushing them into a situation that's going against their natural instinct, which is no. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's healthy for an asexual person who doesn't want sex, doesn't get the need, urge, or want for it, to not have sex. And I really wish this would be recognised. You know, obviously in traditional coaching, dating coaching, they teach that if you're not having sex, you know, then you're not having a fulfilling, happy relationship, healthy one, and you've got to sort it out. It's a really big problem. But in actuality, you know, it's only a problem if it's a problem for one of the people in the relationship because they want it and their partner doesn't, you know, or they want it much more frequently and they're not having their needs met. That's, you know, but actually, you know, people, for example, asexuals can live very happily in a sex-free couple because they don't need it. You know, they don't, even the people that have it usually, they don't usually get an innate desire to want it, to need it. Obviously, there's grey ends of the asexual spectrum. So obviously, if you're grey asexual, they get the need, urge, or want for it in limited, rare, or specific circumstances, or not enough to want to act on it. But you know, so our case, and obviously demisexuals, once they've formed a really strong, deep emotional bond and they love that person and the bond's reciprocated, then they will experience sexual attraction like a sexual would. So they're kind of like the exceptions in a way. But there are some asexuals that are indifferent towards sex, but, you know, it's a kind of take it or leave it scenario. But I just want to say on this channel that there is a lot of benefits, and it is healthy to not have sex if you don't want it. I wished really that coaches would say, you know, like, if you're heterosexual, because obviously if you're asexual, the majority of us don't want sex. It's not healthy for our minds to try and force ourselves to do that, you know. I mean, as an asexual person, if you're going to have sex, you're going to have to, and you need to try and enjoy the experience, you're going to have to try and change your mindset to thinking it's great, you know, in order to enjoy it. Or if you're, you know, become indifferent to it, so you're not really bothered one way or the other, it doesn't affect you. But obviously, if you've got a really adversity to sex and you really don't want it, that is a really unhealthy thing to try and do that then, because obviously it makes you feel like you're being forced against your own will. And that's not good for anyone. It's not good for your physicality or your mentality. And the mental health is very much linked to the physical, you know. That's why it'll do me good to have a meet up next weekend. So even though I'm, you know, ill at the moment, in the terms I feel fine, apart from my throat, and I'm extra tired at the moment, I think, like today. I've got up early the last 2 days, so I'm usually a night owl. I usually work throughout the night on my websites and stuff and sleep in the day. So I'm not used to early mornings. But, you know, so it's best to live your life how it's healthy for you. And you know, like I said, you know, don't worry if you are asexual and you don't like sex, and, you know, you hear people say, oh, it's healthy to have it. It's only healthy if you're basically a sexual person who wants it, likes it, and, you know, enjoys it. If you're not liking it, wanting and enjoying it, that's okay. It's perfectly normal and fine for an asexual. I always say an asexual, you know, who doesn't like, want or need sex, you know, is perfectly valid and okay. It's a really healthy for you to be like that, because that is how you naturally will be as an asexual, usually, in the majority of cases. Because that's the whole point of being asexual. We don't get the need, urge, or want for partner's sexual intercourse. We don't have that desire to, like, you know, jump on top of people and have sex with them. That's not inbuilt into our nature. So, you know, if you ever see anything like all the TV programs, all the magazines, the books, all the dating coaches that go on and on about that, you know, I class myself as an asexuality dating coach, and I'm telling you now that it's very, very healthy for you to not have sex if it's not in your natural nature to want to do that. And if it feels like it, you know, you're going to have like an adverse reaction to it, or your brain's just saying, no way, I'm not doing it, it's not good for me. So you're perfectly healthy, perfectly valid, perfectly wonderful in your own right. And, you know, and just as much as asexuals can't help being sexual, you can't help being asexual. It's your sexual orientation, and you should be treated with just as much respect as sexuals in that way. You know, it's your orientation you need to respect, you know, respect of your boundaries, respect of you as a person. You know, I think there's some people who put asexuals down, and they shouldn't be doing, you know. It's a violation of our personal rights, you know. As human beings, we need to be treated with respect. It's our sexual orientation, just like they've got a sexual orientation. You know, we're equal in the sense we've both got sexual orientations, but they're just different. So we need to be given equal respect, you know. Obviously, sexuals are given a lot of respect in the sense that, you know, everything in the world tends to be mostly geared towards sexuals. So it's like, oh, sex is great, sex is wonderful in the sexualized society, but we need to be given the same amount of respect in our asexuality, that, you know, having a sex-free life is wonderful, it's healthy for people who don't enjoy sex, it's great, it's beautiful, you know. There's a lot of benefits to having a sex-free life, you know. I feel so much happier since I haven't done that. I feel so much happier, you know. I'm happier in myself. When I used to have sex, sometimes I used to start crying because it left me feeling raw, because I guess it's not in my natural nature to want to go after that. And it kind of made me feel sad sometimes, not all the time. You know, even though my ex was good at that, even though the experience itself wasn't bad, as, you know, wasn't a bad experience from the point of view he was good at that, it still left me feeling raw sometimes and upset, because I guess it's not really, I'm very emotional, I guess it's not really who I am, it's not true to my personality, true to what I really want in my life. So, you know, since obviously not being with him and then realising in 2014 I'm asexual, it feels really good, you know, because I know that my actual nature is that I'm not into sex. It's just not who I am. I just don't like it, need it, want it, or ever get the urge for it. So, you know, it's great. I love that type of life. Anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps these videos get up in the search engine rankings. It helps to raise awareness of asexuality more, because the more these channels, this channel gets visibility for asexuality, more people see it, more people have views of it, and more people can share it with their friends. If you think this video is useful, helpful, insightful, it's also good to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. I'm going to sign off for tonight. Thank you for the thumbs up. Really, really good of you. If you've got any questions or comments, please post them down below. I try and answer them in between my videos, or as soon as I possibly can. Thanks to your comments, Heather. Thanks, Andy, who's been writing comments. Thanks, Michael, who often comments in the chat. Really appreciate you being here and watching me again. Thank you so much. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that great big subscribe button now. Hit that bell icon to get notified every time I go live, like now, or post a new video. And I will see you on the next live stream. Take care and have a fabulous night. It's night in the UK here. Night, Heather. Night, Michael. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Nice to see you all. Bye.